Hi everyone, it's Lindey. I wanted to make a really quick video about eBay's brand new payment system, and they are rolling out beta testing for some sellers this coming fall. But before you opt in, hear what I have to say. So I attended eBay Open last week and I was able to directly connect with people to discuss the payment system. I made it a top priority because I had a very strong feeling that we weren't really getting the full information and they weren't being completely forward about all of the aspects of the payment system. They essentially sent out some emails asking people to opt into the beta program, and I really didn't feel like a lot of questions were answered. Of course, they talked about it being this awesome new thing, and I wanted to ask some questions, so I did, and this is what I found out. Okay, so first off, if you have already opted into the beta payment system, you cannot opt out. So that is really unfortunate. I know a lot of us probably got really excited and opted in, but unfortunately, if you've already opted into beta, you cannot opt out. So you're kind of stuck, but stick with me because you probably need to know everything I'm about ready to talk about if you are opted in. So one of the things I'm not sure that eBay has made perfectly clear is the fact that once you opt into the beta rollout, you can no longer accept PayPal from your buyers, which can be a really big deal. I feel like buyers have been groomed to use PayPal on eBay, and they cannot use their PayPal account with you if you've opted into beta. So in the beginning, if a buyer has to go get their credit card and input their credit or debit information, it probably won't be a very big deal, but it is something to consider when you think about the fact that almost all of the sellers on eBay, especially with Q4 coming, will be able to accept PayPal, and you can't accept PayPal. That could be a big deal. Also, for this first round of beta testing, you cannot sync up any of your bookkeeping software with the eBay payment system. Me personally, I use GoDaddy Bookkeeping and I really like the ease of use, being able to just sign in my PayPal account straight through GoDaddy Bookkeeping, and it keeps track of all of the information for me. Here in the beginning, eBay is not going to have that capability, which means that you will have to input and export all of your financial information into your bookkeeping software. They have said that they will address that later on, but for this first beta round, you're on your own with bookkeeping. It doesn't automatically sync. Also, you cannot use the eBay global shipping program through this entire beta testing. If you want to ship direct international, you can, but as for the eBay global shipping program, it's not integrated yet. Now, this next part is a big deal, but also not really a big deal. I guess it just depends on how you want to look at it. But if you're no longer able to use PayPal, which will be the case if you opt into the beta round, you still have to print all of your shipping labels through PayPal, meaning your money will sit in eBay, but you have to purchase your shipping labels through PayPal. So this doesn't necessarily mean that you have to keep adding money into your PayPal account. You can link your debit information or your banking information to PayPal and just distribute money directly for those shipping labels. But the part I think is going to concern us the most is the fact that eBay holds all of the money from the buyer, and you have to be expected to print that shipping label before that money is released. So there will be daily payouts for eBay, but it takes 2 to 4 days of processing. And if you have 1 day handling, you have to use some money to buy the shipping label, right? So you are essentially paying for the shipping label out of pocket and waiting a few days later to get the buyer's money dispersed into your account. Now, For some sellers that are constantly turning over a whole bunch of transactions and constantly have money flowing in and out, it might not be that big of a deal. But for hobby sellers or people that are not selling in high volumes, this could create an issue, because if you don't have very much money in your account, you have to buy a certain amount of shipping labels to fill your orders from the previous day. You would always have to make sure that there is enough cash flow in that account to print your shipping labels, because you have to wait on the funds to be released. Oh my God. I still have bags under my eyes from Vegas. Also, payments in this beta round are daily, and you cannot change it. So depending on how you normally have your, depending on how you like to pay yourself with PayPal right now, that could be a benefit, or you might not like it so much. Like I have mentioned before that I personally do monthly payouts for myself. I don't do it weekly. I don't do it daily. I don't do it every 10 days. Once a month, that's when I do all of my bookkeeping and I pay myself. Well, in this first round of beta testing with the new eBay payment system, you have no choice but to do daily payouts. That's what they do. Daily, they will automatically send money to your bank account. Later on, they will integrate it into the system to be able to set up whether you want daily, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, and so on. But for this beta round, you're stuck with daily. So hope that's what you want. If you opt into this new beta round, expect to be eBay's guinea pig. There's no other nice way to put it. The woman that I spoke with, she didn't exactly say those words, but the things that she was saying led me to believe that we will, in fact, be eBay's guinea pigs. And we all know that anytime something new rolls out with eBay, there are always glitches, there are always kinks that we need to work out. And she had said that she and everybody that works in the payment area of eBay are really going to be relying on their sellers in the beta round to tell them every time there is an error, to tell them every time there is a glitch, to tell them every time that there is an issue, which leads me to believe that they know that there will be issues in this beta round, and they are going to be waiting on their sellers to tell them the parts that need to be fixed. And if I'm being completely honest, that really concerns me for Q4, because this is your money. This is the way people are buying your items. This is the funds that you are going to need in your bank account so that you can ship items. And for Q4, that always means a lot more traffic, a lot more buyers. And if you're in this first round of beta, if there are glitches or issues with payments, you're going to miss out on some business. He also did tell me that there are a number of different incentives to sign up for the beta round. They want to incentivize sellers to give it a try and to help be a part of the testers, more or less. However, the incentives that they notified me about were not really incentive enough to make a difference, if that makes sense. Like they had said, basically that they would be comping the transaction fees. Like they gave the example, you know, how PayPal has a certain small percentage and then a 30-cent transaction fee. Well, with eBay, it's going to be more of the same. She didn't give me exact numbers of what the transaction fees would be, but she did indicate that there were transaction fees. And she said that for the beta testers, those transaction fees were going to be waived. However, she said that they would be waived for an undisclosed amount of time. And that to me is a major, major red flag that they are willing to comp fees for us, but they're not telling us how long it's gonna be. So when the beta, excuse me, when the beta round rolls out in September, are they going to incentivize us for, or what did I just say? Does that mean that we're going to have our fees comped for 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days? We don't know. And in my personal opinion, a 3% fee comp it's not really worth all of the trial, error, headache, and being a guinea pig. Another reason why the undisclosed amount of time that we will be getting incentivized it leaves a bad taste in my mouth, because they were saying that they hope to have all glitches and the beta round completed by the end of next summer, which is a year from now. And a year is a really long time to be dealing with glitches and being a guinea pig. And so the fact that they couldn't commit to comping transaction fees for the entire round of beta testing, red flags popping up everywhere. So now let's talk about the good things that I think could come out of the eBay payment system. There are two in particular that really stand out to me. One is that we will no longer have to deal with two different companies if there is a dispute by a buyer. So we won't have to worry about a dispute from eBay and then a completely separate one on PayPal. It will all be centralized within eBay. So if we have issues with payments with a buyer, if they file a chargeback or something, it's all gonna be dealt with within eBay. There's gonna be, we don't have to be the middleman going between eBay and PayPal. It's all gonna be centralized in one area, so that is nice. The second one being, once this new eBay payment system is available to everybody, they have the beta round over, they figured everything out, there is a very real possibility that they will be able to integrate some sort of automatic payment function with Best Offer, which will be awesome. I mean, we all talk about how we love that about Poshmark, how if someone sends us an offer, if we accept it, the money is already there, the transaction has been completed, it's done. Well, that function does not currently exist on eBay, but with this new payment system, it will allow eBay to hopefully do that in the future. So we don't have a timeline on that, but it's definitely on their radar. I asked them about that specifically. So before you decide to opt into the beta round for the new eBay payment system, I wanted to make sure that you guys had all of that important information, because I feel like they really weren't as black and white with all of that information as they could be. And that is some serious information if you ask me. I mean, that's our money. That's how we get paid. That's how we buy the shipping labels. That's how we run our business. So I wanted to make sure that everybody knows everything going in. Now, that's not to say that I think that this entire payment system is not going to be a good thing, because truth of the matter is, if we're going to sell on eBay, everyone is going to have to opt into it eventually. So this video was mainly about the beta round. What everyone is going to have to deal with if you decide to opt into the test round. So after the test round is over and they get all of their kinks worked out, they get everything integrated that they need to integrate, like the functionality of daily payouts, weekly payouts, the automatic acceptance for payments. Once they get all of that stuff lined out, everyone is going to have to do this. PayPal is not going to be the primary payment function of eBay at some point. They're looking at, the year 2020 being the year that everybody is, everybody's in this new payment system. All of these things that I guess could be considered very negative is only for the beta round. And you do not have to opt in for the beta round. So if anything that I talked about really scares you or makes you nervous for your business, just don't opt in. And if you've already opted in, don't panic. The good thing is that eBay knows that this is a beta round and they are expecting there to be problems. So if there are problems, you can say something. Speak up and let them know when you're having issues. And hopefully within the next couple of years, this beta program goes nice and smooth and we get it all figured out and it all turns out for the better, because eBay doesn't want to make a buying experience worse for the buyer. They want to make it better for the buyer and more streamlined for everybody. So I do believe that overall this payment system is going to be a good thing. We just have to get through the beta round first. So Hopefully you got a lot of good information from me and I was able to shed some light on some areas that maybe you didn't know about. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to put them in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more content. And there is useful links down in the video description. And thank you so much again for watching. I will see you with my next video. Bye.